All right, we mentioned the NFL betting guide is out right now. So again, if you're not a VSiN Pro subscriber, you should be by now. You're going to see all of our picks out there. You did something fun this week for the show, where I believe you ran this by AI. And your favorite football teams out there, if there were a fighter, has the computer spit out some data that might analyze what fighter might fit the profile of a football team.
Some people might get feel disrespected if depending on their favorite football team.
I love that.
We'll see what happens though. I'll start this off, but I have the New York Jets, famed, team there.
Yeah.
Paddy Pimblett gets put as
Paddy
the equal.
Pimblett? I'm offended, and I'm a Jets fan.
Let me tell you the rationale. It says a massive fan base, enormous hype, solid enough, but will always continue to lose the big ones. Everyone talks about them more than they probably deserve, it says.
Oh, AI, I am disrespected for the Paddy Pimblett side, not for the Jets. Paddy should never be associated with the football Jets. He's way better than the Jets. AI has got that one stone cold wrong. Paddy Pimblett went 5 hard rounds with Justin Gaethje, and we saw Ilya Taporia. We were all putting in the Hall of Fame. He still might get there. Couldn't even get off the stool after the 4th. Not disrespecting Taporia, but pointing out that Pimblett was tough enough. Scousers don't get knocked out. The Jets get knocked out all the time, Rob Moreno. AI, you're wrong. Paddy Pimblett is way above the New York Football Jets.
All right, so we're 0 for 1.
0 for 1.
Here we go. The Cincinnati Bengals.
Ooh.
Sean O'Malley.
Wow.
So, flashy, stylish, impossible not to watch, burst onto the scene with big moments, and they keep finding ways to stay relevant when the hype begins to fade. The ceiling is legitimately elite. Do you agree?
I think they got it right. I think they got it right. And I think this is good for both the Bengals and for the Sugar Show.
Yes.
Because you're right. It felt like the Sugar Show, not to say popularity, but the hype train was slowing down, right? All of a sudden, and we go, well, is Sean O'Malley still this elite guy? And it took the White House card to remind some people out there, and Sugar envisioned it, what he's going to do, the salute, and he did all of that. That does feel like Joe Burrow, right? Like, and Joe has been that close to a championship. I know Sean has won a title, but that close against the Rams, right? So I think it's a really good comparison. I think that's like a positive. I think if you're Sean O'Malley and you're watching this, you're going, yeah, that's a good comp. And if you're Joe Burrow and the Bengals, you're going, yeah, I like that comp too, because that guy was champion. I know he fell, but now maybe he's back ascending again. Maybe the Bengals fell, got injured, back ascending again this year. I like that one. I think it works for both parties.
All right, we're 1-1 here. This one's interesting. The Pittsburgh Steelers, Valentina Shevchenko.
Oh.
The reason, an institution, an era, everyone keeps waiting for the decline, but it hasn't quite come. Now, obviously, not that they've been winning championships, but we talk about it all the time. If you're an NFL bettor, you know this. I don't know if you know, Mike Tomlin has never had a losing record.
I've heard that once or twice.
And the legend outlasts all logic, it says. Do you agree?
I tend to agree. We'll see what Big Mike McCarthy can do in year number 1 now, taking over for the other Mike. Here's why I like the comp, is that the history of the Steelers might predate the current resume, but it's still very good resume. But the history of Valentina Shevchenko, I think you can make the case as, I know some would even make the case that she's the GOAT of women's MMA. It's hard to do that when you fought Nunes and, we saw what happened.
And you didn't beat the other GOAT?
Right, you didn't beat the other GOAT. I know she was undersized in those fights, technically maybe a little bit out of weight when she had a fighter at 35 before they even had the 25s and the 15s and that sort of things, right? So I think it's fair to make those logical conclusions that in her weight class, clearly 15-25, and she was really good at 35 too, that it really didn't matter wherever you put her. She's just one of the greatest of all time. I think the Steelers' resume as an organization, take out necessarily present day. I think you could put the Steeler resume with anybody else's. Is it the best? Maybe not. But like Shevchenko, it's one that you could put in the discussion for some of the very best of all time. AI, I'm with you on the bullet one. I think that works.
There we go. 2-1. 2-1, baby. All right, this one's interesting, but it could kind of fit. The Kansas City Chiefs, Alex Pereira. Actually, I'm sorry, Alexandre Pantoja. I misread my
Oh,
lines. Alexandre
okay.
Pantoja suffered a serious
Pantoja.
injury, the
Mm.
greatest of their era. Everyone's watching in real time, wondering what they have left.
Okay, I don't like it. I love it. I think it's so spot on with Mahomes coming up, the injury last year and we see videos of Patrick playing golf, so everybody's like ready to run to the window and bet the Chiefs. And I get it. If you want to bet Mahomes, I could talk you into much worse bets than betting Patrick Mahomes to rebound. I can't wait for Pantoja's comeback. Kind of I think in the same illumination of we can't wait to see what Mahomes can do in the comeback. And I am with AI. And I think the astute observation, which gets lost by casuals out there, that he really might be Demetrius Johnson. It's so hard to ever say somebody's better than Mighty Mouse. Pantoja's that good, man. Like he's that good. And the Joshua Van fluke, it is a fluke. Now I know Joshua Van has come back and said what he has to say. Oh,
Absolutely.
I caused that injury. That's a fluke. I thought Pantoja was going to work, and we'll find out when he's healthy. But yeah, a la Mahomes, I think that's a pretty good comp.
Okay, perfect. I think we're 3-1 now, so
Three one.
we're looking good. We're looking
The
good. We got
the
some.
Jets pick with Paddy Pimblett was terrible. AI
I
terrible.
had to start with that one. All right, here we go. The Los Angeles Chargers, Armin Sarukian.
Ooh.
Check it out. By every metric, one of the better teams in a division, but they get passed over. And the Chargers have been living with that disrespect for years and overlooked, and also may never get a shot at actually getting that up there.
I'm going to give this one, if I had to give it a grade, it would be a passing grade, but maybe a C minus.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm going to say that is, like, I like the Harbaugh coaching tree. I like Jim Harbaugh. I know he's an odd duck, and I think Sarukian is looked at kind of like Harbaugh, and that some people, I don't know how many people really like Armin Sarukian, but I think there are people that like me that like the Harbaughs and that they like the coaching tree, and maybe some of the drinks the milk and eats the red meat and the steak and all that stuff. It's some people it doesn't play for them, and others it does. I feel like Sarukian, I hate to say it, I think Armin's disliked by the general public. And I think that that's why I'm going to give it a C minus, because I don't know that the comp to the Harbaughs and the Chargers. I don't know how many people dislike the Chargers. I don't dislike the Chargers, and I think there is some actual dislike from Sarukian, because the Chargers have been, now they're nomads after leaving San Diego. That it's hard to dislike a team when you feel like they've been displaced. So I think they almost get a benefit of the doubt. They're the second fiddle in LA. They just don't get talked about a lot. So maybe that's a good comparison for Sarukian. But I think when people talk about Armin, it's not always in the positive light.
I'll agree with that with you. I also lived in San Diego, and I grew
The
up a
area.
Chargers fan.
Yeah.
And I understood the, kind of like second fiddle type thing. And, let's face it, Sarukian's kind of trying to get that title shot back that he kind of passed over, and I don't know if he'll get it. But I do feel you're right. Like, Sarukian's not very liked in
We
outside
like the
circles.
Chargers.
Well, yeah, what's not to like, right?
Yeah, what's
Justin Herbert, the Powder
Great
Blues.
uniforms,
Yeah, come on.
wonderful cheerleaders. I digress.
All right, let's move to the NFC now. Enough with the AFC. The Chicago Bears. Mauricio Hufi.
Whoa.
All right. Young phenom. Looks electric, especially early on. Hands down, walks forward, gets finishes. They've handled big name vets before, and the arrow is up.
Sorry, AI. I'm not picking up what you're putting down there. Mauricio Hufi has got real substance to be potentially the best in his division. The Bears, I see a lot of smoke and mirrors. I see a lot of magician stuff being pulled, and maybe all of a sudden I'm going to see the big reveal and realize they're not as good as they showed last year. That is one of the luckiest football teams I've ever seen a year ago in the Chicago Bears. I don't think there's luck with Mauricio Hufi. So, Rob, I'm disagreeing with AI on that one. I think Hufi is for real. Bears, you got a lot to prove to me this year.
I won't tell Jordan you said any of Jordan Sherwood when he comes back. I'm going to have to send him this clip. All right, let's blast through these last few. These last few are kind of fun.
Okay.
The New Orleans Saints. Kayla Harrison.
Whoa.
Now, not championship reasons. They're the unquestioned ruler of a weak division. It's Says everyone around them is a mess. The South is bad enough that the Saints can just stumble into the division winning. But
I
you're a
hate to
Falcons guy this year, so
Yeah, I'm at odds in AI in this one too. I love the Dirty Birds down south. Do not like the comp with Kayla Harrison. Nobody wants to fight Kayla Harrison. Everybody wants to play the Saints. Nobody's scared of the Saints. We're scared of Kayla. We're not scared of New Orleans.
I have to agree with that one. As someone
Yeah,
who was a Survivor contestant last year, the Saints were a targeted material all
yeah,
year.
absolutely.
All right, I'm going to do two more. The Seahawks, Super Bowl champions, Justin Gaethje, won the Super
Mm.
Bowl when nobody was giving them a chance. Gaethje did the same thing at the White House. Gritty, resilient, weathered the storms, and now they're the hunted ones.
Pretty good AI. I
That
give him
one's
some
pretty good.
props on that one. Yeah. Because again, Sam Darnold and Justin Gaethje, I think you can make a lot of similarities between those two. I've been betting on Sam Darnold a lot. I've been betting on Justin Gaethje a lot. We cash a lot of big tickets on those dog prices. So I think they nailed that one. Now let's see the staying power. I've heard a lot of people say that Justin Gaethje should retire now. I don't know that I'm in that school of thought there. We know Sam Darnold's not retiring, just got a new big deal here in Seattle. I think we're going to see more of Sam Darnold, and I think we'll see more of Justin Gaethje at the top.
Beautiful. Love it. And the last one, my friend, Dallas Cowboys chose your America's team, as you say, for
Let's go.
last. Now, I ran this before the recent news, so I
Oh,
apologize for anyone who gets upset about this.
oh no.
Dustin Poirier. Everybody roots for them. They always show up for the big moments, and somehow it ends in disappointment. And now the offseason is getting in the way as well.
I hate to say it, it's kind of spot on. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. That could have been Gaethje had he lost because he'd never been the outright champ, been interim champ. And it feels like that's what we're talking about with Poirier. Look, you're right. This was before we got the news. Not good news on Dustin post-career retirement and all these things. I'd like a better comp here, but we've had some trip-ups in our past in the offseason like Poirier is having right now. Begrudgingly, I'll agree with AI a
All
little bit
right.
on this one. But let's flip the script this year, Dallas. Let's not be Dustin the Diamond Poirier. And by the way, I'm rooting for the Diamond. I'm rooting for him to get his life together because,
Yes.
in all seriousness, you hate to see that. And he's such a likable guy. I've talked to him. And Rob, we don't want anybody to go out post career like that. Kind of tough to watch. But I'm hoping, and he sounds like he wants to get his life in order. I wouldn't mind seeing him coming out of retirement if that's what it's going to take to keep him on the straight and narrow.
Absolutely. I wanted to say the same thing. I mean, we joke and everything, and I thought it was funny because I
It is.
ran
So
this
funny.
like I'm sure that it had happened, I think, at the time, but the news hadn't really broken out. And I know the AI doesn't know that, but I was like, I'm going to go for it anyways. But yes, we hope the best for Dustin Poirier. Hope he, I think I think we see it a lot in athletes, right? When they step away, it's kind of hard to where to
Totally.
put that energy and that competition and that fire that's inside their belly. And the Diamond's one of the best with that fire. So
I thought you were going to give me John Jones, the best champion of all time, but flawed. Yeah, like the Cowboys of the past. You can make the argument that
that's
one
a
of the
good one
greatest,
too, actually.
right?
That's a pretty good one too.
But occasionally we show up for the wrong reasons, right? We'll leave it at that with John Jones and Dustin Poirier.